Hello, YouTube. Welcome in, everyone. We've got a really exciting topic today. Let me know if you're watching live or in the replay for those of you guys that will be watching later in the replay. And so this is the topic that you guys have been requesting on how to step into that $1 million babe. And I'm going to talk a little bit about, let me see that this is all like set up properly. Okay. Sorry about that. So I'm going to talk about how you can get into that $1 million babe energy. And we're going to start at the basic babe, then self-aware Barbie, $1 million babe, and high-end divinity. And before I even start, let me just say that this is not about shaming anyone. This is not about calling anyone names. This is really about a woman's goddess journey. Like everyone goes through these stages of consciousness. I know that I was in my basic babe mode for a while. I spent the longest time in self-aware Barbie, and then the yumminess of the $1 million babe was awakened in me. So I know that this is a journey for everyone, and this is not about feeling like we're going to call people names and point fingers and say, well, she's a basic babe. We're all basic babes, okay? Like we all have that energy. Like all four goddess energies are within us at any given time. You can always have a basic babe moment, even when you're a $1 million babe. So judgments just block our creation energy. And watch my series on judgments. So one of the most life-changing spiritual moments in my life was when I realized that any judgment that I made about anyone else just put me in a bigger golden cage. And I realized this after I started coaching people in my business. And I realized that the people that were the most miserable and had the hardest time having transformations or leveling up were the people that judged other people harshly about various things. So that was a big wake-up call because I know that I've definitely been there. So give this video a thumbs up. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. And okay, so let's start with the basic babe. Who is the basic babe? The basic babe is in the wounded feminine. Wherever the basic babe goes, chaos follows. The basic babe is all about victimhood. She's all about making excuses. She's all about stirring up the drama. She is so severely addicted to suffering that she will make that drama high last. You know, like if you give her a mole, she will turn it into mountains for days. She will call everyone. She will stir up things. The basic babe, if she doesn't get enough of the suffering hit from her life, she will join forums and social media groups where she can be hit up with that cocaine hit of suffering. She will be chatting and fighting and arguing in the comments. She will be stirring up things. If there isn't enough drama there, she'll create drama by posting things. If someone else isn't noticing drama, she'll send them a link to drama. Like this woman is a junkie, basically. Like you can't even imagine like what her inner world of chaos is like. And she doesn't know. Here's the thing, she's completely clueless about it. She's so clueless about it. She doesn't know that she's addicted to drama. And if anyone tries to, she's not the self-aware Barbie yet. So if you try to awaken her, boy, will she turn that into drama and bring that into your life and into your field. I do not work with basic babes because I feel like that's not the best source of my my gifts, my light, because there's no invitation there. Typically, if they even get to the point of following my channel, either they're going to be 20, 30% already in the self-aware Barbie, or they're not going to like me and leave. And my content is purposely, intentionally created that way because there's no hit for them on my channel. I won't engage with them. I won't reply to their comments. So they fall away because I'm not cocaine enough for them, if that makes sense. Okay. So it's really sad and that they're addicted, but they like it, right? Like they don't know that their subconscious likes it. When they're ready to awaken into self-aware Barbie, then, you know, they can come and follow me. If you find that you may be totally in your basic babe and you're starting, no, well, you wouldn't be totally if you're aware enough to even recognize it in yourself. You would be best suited for therapy. I always say a therapist will get you to the race. A life coach will help you finish first, right? So I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm not the best qualified person for helping those people. So is everyone clear on what the basic babe is? Now I'm going to start talking about self-aware Barbie. Self-aware Barbies have a range. You can be 80% in your self-aware Barbie and 10% in your basic babe. 80% in your self-aware Barbie and 20% in your basic babe, right? So it's a fluid kind of thing where you're learning and you're evolving. Oh, I have to share this with you guys. My daughter made me the best bracelets you guys can ever imagine. So she put God on this one, universe, I'm wearing this the wrong way, universe on this one, and then angels on this. Like I love it. Like, talk about someone really knowing their mother. Like, this is like a constant reminder for me of like, you're not alone. Like, just call on God, call on the angels, and all will be done for you. So I just like, oh my goodness, like she brought me to tears with these necklaces, because I'm like, you really know your mother. So I'm so excited to be wearing these. Okay, so I often work with therapists, meaning they're my clients and my students, and so they will either be like recovering basic babes themselves or self-aware Barbies. And the reason for this is that part of their own therapy certification requires them to do their own inner work for basic babes, right? But then they get into like self-aware Barbie mode, and so then they find my work. And over the last 5 years, I've worked with probably over a dozen therapists and counselors and women in that field. And they said, Mina, I can get myself to the race. I just can't run. Like, I can't, like, I don't know how to win, right? Like, I can't succeed. So they have a limitation too. When they'll get you to the race, like they'll get you at base level, but you need a life coach to be able to remove the blocks for the next level. So that's the basic babe. And let's talk about self-aware Barbie. So basic babe was the wounded feminine. And that's the world of the chaos of the feminine, right? The destruction energy. The self-aware Barbie is when something really bad happens to the basic babe, something really bad, where it's like she hits rock bottom and she wakes up to the fact that she's like waking up to the fact that she has to do it for herself. Like, she's the one that has to survive, that she's the one that has to get the thing done, that she's the one that has to, move. So now begins the hustle mode of the self-aware Barbie. So if the basic babe is addicted to drama, her suffering flavor is drama. The suffering flavor of the self-aware Barbie is hard work. It's like, I can't get this, I can't enjoy this until I earn it. So how this manifests is that, the self-aware Barbie will go get, 2 master's degree and a PhD and still feel unworthy and still feel like her relationships aren't working. The self-aware Barbie will be the woman that's more likely to do the 50-50 or even the 100% in a relationship, because she says, I will do for you to earn your love because I know that I'm not worthy. So if we're using Shira's terms, the pick-me-sha is the self-aware Barbie. Now, I have a great compassion for her because that was me for a really, really, really long time. I probably spent most of my life in self-aware Barbie, like before my transformation and my level up, because I had the early childhood abuse that was like my rock bottom, waking up from basic babe into self-aware Barbie. But I got stuck in self-aware Barbie for longer than, oh my goodness, I probably I would say from like 16 to early 30s is when I was definitely in my self-aware Barbie. The self-aware Barbie, even if she finds a full provider, I have plenty of clients in this category. 85% of my clients are self-aware Barbies. That's the number that feels like genuine to me. And then the rest are $1 million babes. So the self-aware Barbie, if she finds a full provider, she will run herself ragged trying to earn his provider. She's going to join the PTA. She's going to clean her house a million times a day. She's going to join all of the charity works. She's in the peasant consciousness. She thinks that she has to earn everything. There's a price to pay. She will manifest, if nothing else is doing it, she will manifest an autoimmune disease, something where it's like, see, I'm sick now. That's why he's providing. Like, that's how I'm earning it. My illness makes me earn, my misery makes me earn love and providing and whatever it is. So the self-aware Barbie is in the wounded masculine energy. She's not in the activated alpha energy like I am. I can use my alpha energy. It's an integrated part of my femininity now, right? Like I'm integrated as a whole. But the self-aware Barbie is in the wounded masculine because she's not, it's not like a part of her that she's owned. It's like she's in hustle mode. She has to earn it through hardware work. How the self-aware Barbie suffers is that she takes the simplest things, even the things that could be pleasurable and should be pleasurable, and she turns it into misery. She will not be able to enjoy something simple as if her husband brings her flowers, she's going to complain that you spent too much. If anything that should be enjoyable, this woman has a PhD in overcomplicating it. If her husband is a full masculine provider, she's going to control him and sabotage him and make rude comments, and she will find a way so that it's like, get the pleasure away from me. I don't deserve it. Take the providing away. I do not feel like I'm worthy of this. This is huge, right? And the thing is that the reason I call it the self-aware Barbie, by the way, all 4 names came to me in a meditation. And I was so scared that I was going to lose these names that I was like, Irfan, he was doing some work on his laptop. I was like, start typing, type whatever I'm saying. And I just said, basic babe, da-da-da-da-da, self-aware Barbie, da-da-da-da-da. And he's just like typing away. And later he's like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm going to need this because this was just downloaded in a meditation and I have a feeling that this is powerful. So the self-aware Barbie, the problem with this babe is that she has a lot of information. She has a lot of information. So she will fake spirituality. She's a queen of spiritual bypass. She will have the right lingo. She will quote Einstein and Carl Jung and everyone. And you're going to be like, oh, wow, this babe knows her shit, right? She knows like mentally, but she has no embodiment. And these people, self-aware Barbies, okay, let me tell you something. The basic babes as a business owner are the easiest people to sell to because they're very gullible. They're very manipulative. As long as you know how to stir up drama, they will love you. But I don't want to work with them because it's not satisfying and they're not, to me, it feels like kindergarten. Like it's like, go work with a therapist first. The self-aware Barbie is the hardest person to sell to because she's in peasant consciousness. She doesn't want to spend money on herself. She doesn't want to, she's a DIY chick. She's the one that's in the chat going, tell me a book that I can read. What she doesn't understand is that the more she learns and the heavier her mental energy gets, the less she embodies. So basic self-aware Barbies are very hard to sell to. But for me, I get so much great joy and satisfaction because once they come into my container and once they see what's possible for them, and remember that they are workaholics. So when I get them to do the work, they'll do the work. They'll take the inspired action. When I say jump, they'll say how high, Mina. Once that trust is there, they will do the thing. So I find such joy. And as they evolve into $1 million babes, like I feel like this is my life's mission. Like I was made for this. Like God designed me for this mission. It is so incredibly satisfying. The self-aware Barbie, the more she reads and the more she learns, the more overwhelmed she becomes, and the less embodied, the harder she kind of has to work to be embodied. Because she thinks she knows a lot, she keeps telling her brain, I know this, I know this, I know this, and those are instructions the brain shuts off. The thing is that we have to get her from the neck down, right? Like we need to get her to turn her heavy mental body off for small moments at a time so she can access her body. And that's the key. That's how I teach. That's how I teach embodiment. I have clients that say, babe, I've worked with Tony Robbins. I've worked with this guy and that guy and that guy, the world's best coaches, and nothing's worked. And here's the reason why. A self-aware Barbie, the last thing this woman should be doing is working with a masculine coach, whether that's a woman or a man. She needs to be working with a feminine coach that knows how to teach embodiment. In fact, I have a student who brought one of her friends to my work. And this woman looks very feminine, and I can tell that she has a very feminine emotional body, but she's very hyper. Like her energy was just like, woof, girl, calm the F down, right? Like just all over the place. And she was addicted to masculine energy, alpha male coaches. She would go visit Tony Robbins all the time, and she would go, and he would like reel her energy even more up. Like, you know how Tony works, right? Like it's all loud. It's all love Tony Robbins, but that's not going to help you with your feminine embodiment. That's like crack cocaine for a self-aware Barbie, because her nervous system can't settle down. She's in, if you think of fight, flight, and freeze, the self-aware Barbie is in the fight. She's like run, can't rest, overactive nervous system. Get her in a room with someone that's like super hyped up masculine alpha energy, and that's just gonna make it worse. Like she'll have more anxiety. She's gonna be more hyper. She's gonna be more hustle mode. That will not work. Okay, so let me see what you guys are saying. Okay, let's read some of these comments. And then we'll talk about what to do. What's the $1 million babe? Okay. Maggie said, Mina, confession time. When I was oops, I lost that chat. When I was a self-aware Barbie and first listened to you, I was like, Mina talks too much and takes too long, but something kept drawing me to you. So glad you got through to me. Yes, Maggie. That's the thing with the self-aware Barbies, that they want everything quick, fast, because their energy is very, right? So the people that complain on my chat, like, you know, like for example, let me give you an example. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis years ago, and it took me 5 years to get a completely clear diagnosis of like, oh, like you don't have it anymore. My doctor was shocked and wanted notes to help her other patients. I filmed an entire 30-minute video to people helping, you know, wanting to share my story. And so, you know, a lot of people were like, thank you, this is life-changing. I think I've got 500,000 views on that video. And there's always the people, this is too long. It's like, babe, you have a really severe and painful autoimmune disease. If you can't sit your ass down and watch a 30-minute video, you're not going to be able to do what it takes to cure your disease, right? Like this takes like time. It takes you settling your energy down. It takes you saying, oh my God, how did I manifest this? I need to heal myself. So I don't even respond to those comments, but that's the thing, that it's like she wants it quick so she can move on to hustle, but girl, that's not what's going to help. All right. So I weed out a lot of people that don't have patience to even do the inner work by keeping my videos long. And it makes me feel, you know, I feel like I'm a generous person. I want to give from the generosity of my heart. Maggie said, yes. Oh my God. I was exhausted. I was exhausting and exhausted. You came at the right time in my life. Yes. Yes. Perfect. My friend is self-aware Barbie, and she never embodies anything. She always talks spirituality, but practice none. They when they cut the information, they have to spit it out. So they go around telling everyone. This is off topic, but there's a lot of ways to move emotional energy, right? Emotions are energy in motion. There's a lot of ways to move emotional energy. The cheapest way to do it is talking. The cheapest way to do it is talking. So the self-aware Barbie, you can sense that she has a lot of anxiety in the way that she talks. Everything is fast. She's very impatient. She has to move really fast. She never has time. She's addicted to her to-do list. When I was in that mode, people would say, Mina, your to-do lists have to-do lists. Like that's how bad it was. Okay, ladies, we need more likes so more people can see this. We need more self-aware Barbies to find this content. Your message is divine. Thank you, Kristen. Right? So, let's see. I love the long videos. So good. Perfect. Okay. Would you call it nervous energy? Yes. You could be totally in your relaxed and a relaxed, calm energy, and you walk into a room with a self-aware Barbie and something just feels like nervous, like you feel you're rushed because of her energy of like, there's a tiger chasing me. Like that's the underlining story, except there's no tiger chasing her. She just feels that way, right? So let's talk about the $1 million babe. So the lower survival consciousness, the people that are in their survival is the basic babe and the self-aware Barbie. Now with $1 million babe and high-end divinity is when you start connecting with your divinity, with your femininity. And this isn't like fake femininity where you just like, did the thing outside. That basic babe can do that too. So can self-aware Barbie. They can look feminine. I looked very feminine when I was a self-aware Barbie. You can watch my old videos. Like when I started filming 10 years ago. So I was in my, like any of my meal prepping videos, self-aware Barbie. Any of my cleaning videos, self-aware Barbie, right? That's the self-aware Barbie mode. You can see when I switched into $1 million babe, when my femininity awakened, right? You see the journey. That's why I left all the cringe videos out, right? So $1 million babe is when you start integrating your femininity, your true femininity. This is when you really start doing the inner work. This isn't about, I read 10 books today. This is about, I became the thing. I embodied the thing. I learned and integrated the thing. I slowed down. I took pleasure. I rested. I took a long bath. I hired people to help me. I asked God for support. I let my partner support me. I let the whole entire universe support me and love me so that I can rest, so that I can be in my pleasure, so that I can be in my femininity, so that I can create, so that I can birth, so that I can feel fully supported. Do you see the difference? Big difference, right? It's like you start walking slowly, talking slowly, your energy. I talked about this in the physics of femininity. Your metronome slows down. Your time period is slower. Your vibration is high and your time period is. So for the basic babe, her time period may be slow, but so is her vibe, right? Like there's just a lot of chaos and drama. For the self-aware Barbie, her time period is ticking very, very fast and her vibration is low, right? Her worthiness is non-existent. For both of those, worthiness is non-existent. The $1 million babe starts awakening. Now, all of these stages of goddessness, goddess consciousness, goddessness, I like that. There's ranges, right? So you can still be, a lot of my clients are like, 50% self-aware Barbie and then 50% $1 million babe because we start working and we're awakening them. Once you switch over into the $1 million babe 100%, that's when the high-end divinity comes in. So the high-end divinity, another way of looking at this chick, she is the high priestess. $1 million babe takes from the field and births and creates. The high-end divinity is the effing field. She's giving, like her presence is adding to God consciousness, is adding to creation. She is a whole vibe. She is here to change and transform the collective consciousness. It's completely different. There's no spiritual bypassing. Like she's done the work. She's been through all the other 3 stages. She's actually done the work. She's done it. Lindsay said, I manifested autoimmune condition in order to slow down. Me too, Lindsay. That's why I got RA. That's why I thank RA. Every single day that it comes in my mind, I'm like, thank you, rheumatoid arthritis. Thank you, God, for giving me this disease so that I can learn to heal. That was a big moment in my life because I didn't want to end up like my mother. I didn't want to end up like a lot of my relatives who were so sick and ill. My mom died of cancer at 49. Like and my mom had her children a little bit younger in her life, right? Like, I'm like, I still have young kids. Like, I don't have time for this. Like, I can't do this. Not sometimes, I think if you're up for the challenge, illnesses can be a big blessing. They can be a wake-up call if you choose to accept it. So does this make sense, ladies? Like, does this help you now see where you are? Why would $1 million babe become a high-end divinity? Because if there comes a point, this is in the point that I'm in, I will think of something and it manifests, right? And then you get the thing, you get the husband, you get the house, you get the kids, you get the money, you get the Chanel bag and the Lexus and everything, right? And then you're like, okay, well, this feels delicious and yummy and thank you. I love my life. And how can I give from my overflow? So the overflow part is what calls forth the high-end divinity, where I'm like, God, thank you for blessing my life. Put me to good use, please. I would like to be a clear channel for your divine work. Dear God, I'm ready to do my part. Please put me to good use. Like, what would you have me do? And that's when it's like all the angels and guides and God goes, here you go, help this person. And those people will come into your field and they will invite you to help them. You don't have to chase anyone. No, look at me. I don't buy ads. I've never like had to do the whole Facebook ads thing. None of that stuff. Like, people come find me. The right people, like the right collaborations, the right people, just they're searching for stuff. They come find me. Because God said, as long as you stay aligned, I will bring the people to you. Just keep your vibration high and just keep your heart pure. That's all I have to do. Okay. Smokey, I said, wow, I like your content and I got to know why I have become more patient. I used to be too talkative, but now I have diverted my energy in more creative things and I don't have to talk too much now. Smokey, you bring up a really good point because one of the exercises that I often give my self-aware Barbies is to talk less, right? But they can't do it because that's the only form of releasing energy. So I have to give them other ways that they're going to now release energy. And they realize that the spitting out the information was it's exhausting for other people. It's exhausting for me. It's exhausting for them, right? It was exhausting for me too, what I mean. So you have to find other ways, dancing, journaling, meditating, you're releasing the energy to the field. Even like beating a pillow sometimes, screaming, right, in private versus just spitting information out at anyone. So the people that read a lot of books or like get a lot of information and they're like, you can tell they're spiritually bypassing, just have compassion because they're in the self-aware Barbie. Thank you, Jessica. For the super chat, she said, Mina, how do you turn around a romantic situation you sabotage by acting out? Thank you. You first own it. You own that you were sabotaging, right? Like that's the realm of the basic babes, sabotaging life, self-aware Barbie, sabotaging life, own it. And then I would go to your journal and say, what is really going on here underneath the surface? Like, why did I do this? The reason is because if you just try to fix it without owning the stuff first, you're going to do it again. You're going to do it again. So go to the journal and like, what's going on? Like, why am I sabotaging this? What needs to heal in me? And ask God for support. And the right people will show up, the right mentors, coaches, courses, books, or whatever you need, but ask for support and just own it. Own it. I was looking at new journals yesterday. Yes. Journaling is life-changing. Sanaya said, oh my God, I was just thinking about how people who talk too much but mean little do so much to get rid of energy. Yep. Talking is like the cheapest form of spitting out like stuck emotions. If you could get a self-aware Barbie to sit and cry, remember crying is one of the most healing ways to release energy that's stuck in your body. If you can get a self-aware Barbie to cry, her life changes. She will wake up from that crying session a completely different person. Nothing has changed, but like something is different within her. Oh, hey, gorgeous. Hey, Shira Seven's here, girl. I see you. Hey, hey. So sometimes all you need to do is sit your butt down and have a good cry and just like, what have I done? What have I done? Shira posted something yesterday that I was just like, I saw it this morning. Something about, what was it, Shira, about plan your life 10 years out or something like that? Freaking life changing, right? Because if you're just looking at like the interaction in the moment, like what can I get from him in the moment? What can I do now? You don't have a plan, right? The self-aware Barbie is very much of like now, like just do this, just running. She's in survival mode. But if she can be like, hold on, like, do I want to die crossing things off my to-do list? Like, is that what I came on the planet to do? Like, is that really it? Right? There's so much more than that. Sprinkle, sprinkle, Shira. So happy to see you here, girl. Sharifa, I think it is Sharifa. Beautiful name. She said, how can I be myself in dating while being feminine? If I'm passionate about real estate, investing, business, and without attracting low value men. So, babe, you can be passionate in all the things and like have your passion. But that doesn't mean that you lead with that. You don't have to necessarily hide it, but you're not dating to show the man how wonderful you are at real estate. You're dating to see what he can do for you, what he can provide for you. So you want to make sure that he's in the hot seat. When you get in the hot seat, when you're like, you know, dazzling him with what you can do for him, that's when it's a problem. That's when you can activate his predator mode, or maybe he was a predator to begin with and he's like, ka-ching, ka-ching, he's hearing cash registers, right? So that's where you want to be careful. I have a client in the Quantum Babes Mastermind, and she emailed me something for the mastermind session. And I didn't say this in there, and I hope she's watching this because I'm going to say this now. I forgot to talk about this when I answered her. If you're married and or even dating, do not talk about your business aspirations with your man. That's for you. God placed that in your heart for you. When you do that with him, he's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to quit my job and I'll help you with your business. You guys have no idea how many self-aware Barbies I coach whose men have been starting a business for the last like 7 or 8 years and nothing went off the ground and they're still supporting them. The women are supporting the men. That is a red flag on like fire. So your business ideas and your passions, God placed that in the heart for you, girl. Those are for you, okay? They are not for him. So don't involve him in that. Miss Keek said, this was me. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, babe. This was me, self-aware Barbie, information overload, but no changes. Yes. And of course you were trying, like let's be compassionate with ourselves. Like you were trying to help yourself, right? It was like a hamster wheel of info, but stuck in place. Oh, yes. Embodiment is key. You are God sent. Thank you for all that you do. Girl, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I feel you. I hear you. I see you because that was me. That was me. And the thing is, the more information you take on when you're in that mode, the more overwhelmed you become. The more overwhelmed you become because it's just like more things on your to-do list. Right? I think I missed one super chat. I'm going to go back and try to find it. I'm so sorry. Oh, yes. Shira said, why is it blocking all of Shira's like things and I'm having to approve them? So weird. It's like, don't you know this chick's my girl? Stop blocking her messages. What was it? Yes, your 20 to 30 lifestyle depends on your 2021 decisions. That needs to be put on like the front of a journal. So Shira, we need a journal from you and that needs to freaking be put like on the cover so I can see it all the time. Like, when are you making your journal? Do you have one? Yeah, that's what we need. I think I had missed one super chat. I'm going to try to see. Yes, Kamora. Kamora, thank you. She said, Mina, I love this topic. Can you talk about how to ask for support without feeling lazy or guilty? So the way you do it, babe, it's like, do notice that I always say I'm willing to do my part. So as a feminine being, How do I, you know what, Shira, let me make you a moderator, and I think it's not gonna block your messages then. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm just gonna make Shira a moderator. If I can find her right here. Add moderator. Okay, there you go. Thank you so much, babe. I'm just going to do that so then it doesn't block anything. So I always say I'm willing to do my part in my prayers and my asking for assistance. And how do I know what's my part? It feels really, really good. And it feels highly aligned, right? So what people would say, inspired action, aligned action, right? Like it feels yummy. It feels like, oh, this feels good. I can't help but not do it, right? Like I have to do it. I think I negated what I was saying, but do you know what I mean? Like it feels delicious to do it. It's like life-giving versus life-draining. That's the big difference. Yes, when you're a self-aware Barbie, you are the DIYer. That's why I say queens are not DIYers. Queens are not like gonna take a whole bunch of free information and try to duct tape it together into a transformation. Like queens ask for help and support, right? Like queens, like think of the queen energy, right? She's not there duct taping information. She's like, help me, hold me, I surrender, like see me the way through. Like she has millions of people working for her. KDB said, after a good cry, I feel renewed. Yes. Yes. That's that releasing of crying is like surrendering. It's like surrendering to help. It's like surrendering to the divine, is surrendering to God and saying, okay, I tried doing the hard way. I tried creating matter from matter. And now I'm asking for divine support. Okay. I'm still addicted to information. And Zitu, you know, on some level, so am I. Like, I love information. But here's the difference with the $1 Million Babe. If you read a book, did you become the book? If you took a course, what 3 things did you take away from it? Like, did you just, is it just, if you read a book and then you go tell 10 people, be suspicious of yourself. Say, did I read the book and spit it out so that I didn't have to embody anything? That's when you should be like, okay, I'm suspicious of my behavior right now. Okay. Yes, no more. I deserve support and rest and luxury. That was a big change for me, Sunflower. Empress, by the way, I love that. I love the word Empress. I remember the first thing that I ever bought, like for support, was like $300, right? And it was like, I was shaking, even though like I was buying designer bags and things at that point. But for some reason, like buying something that could transform me was like, I was like weird. Like I even went to Irfan, my husband, and like asked him for permission. He was looking at me like, yeah, you never asked me before buying a $3,000 handbag. Like, why are you asking me about this damn thing, right? But once I did it, even before I took the course, something has shifted in me. It wasn't the course. Let me tell you a little secret. It's never the book. It's never the coach. It's never the mentor. It's never the program. It's you saying, I deserve and allow support. That's the thing. It doesn't matter what I'm saying out of my mouth. The fact that you have allowed yourself to receive divine support and be in the field of transformation, in the vibration, in the high vibration of, I want to change something, that's the thing. Now, some people may land on this video, get super triggered by it, basic babes, write me a nasty message and move on. They weren't allowing anything. They took the same things that were coming out of my mouth as an attack because they're addicted to drama. And someone else can take the words coming out of my mouth as like a holy divine transformation. The words haven't changed. They interacted differently with your vibration. If you're in a space where you're like, God, help me, and then God chose Shira or me or Chris or someone else as the channel, then you'll see that. If you randomly clicked on this video, you're going to be like, what is this chick talking about? I hate her. I'm going to write her a nasty comment. Hopefully people will comment back and I'll get a hit of cocaine of suffering. Same message, same person, same vibration, different reaction. It's never the thing. It's you allowing divine support. Now, remember that I say that God doesn't have hands and feet. So God uses people on this planet as channels, right? So it can be me, it can be another person, it can be another coach, it can be someone else that God says this is the path of least resistance. This will be the person that delivers the information that you asked for, No one is breaking your free will. No one, money can't break your free will. God won't break your free will. Angels won't break your free will. I sure as hell can't. So everything in the universe and the cosmos and the galaxies and the spaces above and below and beyond, in all directions in time and space, your free will never be broken. You have to ask. You have to ask and you have to allow. That is the $1 million way. Like, you have to ask and you have to allow. Otherwise, what I'm saying is just gobbledygook to you, because God didn't choose me to be the channel for you because you didn't ask. Sorry, you didn't ask, you didn't allow. So what do you need to do to ask and allow? And allow simply means surrender, saying, I believe, okay, I'm here. Like, I'm willing to do my part. What do you want me to do? God's not going to come down and talk to you. God will send a human being saying the right things that you need to hear. God will send a post. God will send a sign. God will send something. But you need to ask and you need to surrender. Okay. Yes, I didn't search for this information, just showed up, and I've not been triggered, but been informed and inspired. You asked, and there it is. That's it. Lindsay said, Mina, I've been following you for 11 months. Feel the beginning of transitioning out of the self-aware Barbie. Yes. Not in the basic babe. Should I be buying the entry-level program? So, Lindsay, the entry-level basic babe bundle really will give you the foundation. And here's why I think you should still get it. A lot of people that start in the middle still go back and buy it. Several reasons. Sometimes they say that I feel overwhelmed when I started with the self-aware Barbie, so I'm going to go back. Sometimes they have such transformations there and they know in the back of the mind that they eventually want to start teaching it and they want the full journey and they'll go back. So I would say still buy there, because that's the foundational inner work. You need to be able to do the inner work. If you don't do the inner work, it's spiritual bypassing. Those are the people that say all the spiritual things. They know more than me. They know more than the people that are embodying it verbally. But if you look at their life, here's a secret. If you want to know where someone is, you don't have to look at them. Look at their life. Look at their life. Success and embodiment leaves clues, and it's freaking loud. It's loud. So someone who has spiritually bypassed their way there, they will be broke. They will be sick. They will not have the embodiment in their life showing up as clues. Because whatever you shift in the internal manifests as physical reality in the plane that we live on, in the third dimension here, right? On the third dimensional plane, it shows up. So if someone knows all of the spiritual stuff, but they're constantly talking about how broke they are, or they can't get a man and that's what they desire, or they can't lose the weight and that's what they desire, they haven't done the inner work. And that's okay. This is never about shaming anyone. They're just on the journey, and they may have learned a lot of information, but they haven't gotten to the embodiment part first. That's why the biggest work I do with the self-aware Barbie is to get you embodied. You have to become embodied in it. 188, yay! I love the number 8. It's my favorite number. Give this more likes, ladies, so more self-aware Barbies can find this. Okay. Let's see. Mina, what if they put us in the hot seat? No one can put you in anything. Okay? Free will. No one can do anything to you without your permission. It's an energetic permission that you have given. If you're available for it, they will put you in the hot seat. How can we try if they're putting us in the hot seat? No one's put... Okay, you are responsible where you lay your body, okay? So I would shift that someone's not like, no one's doing it. What are your energetic boundaries around this? Okay. That I talk about that in the Basic Babe bundle and the High Vibration Worthy Woman. Like you have to get embodied and know that you're not available for certain things. And like, this is you not being available for it, bouncing it back, laughing it off, giving an answer like, if I told you, I'd have to kill you, like being playful with it. Brenda said, Mina, more tips on embodiment. I feel like my time in the divine waiting is way overdue. So do the thing that's most uncomfortable, Brenda. So for you, if asking for support and hiring a coach or a mentor or getting a program is uncomfortable, do that. If sitting down feels like I'm going to die if I sit down for 5 minutes, do that. If not talking for an hour seems like there's no way, do that. Do the thing that your nervous system is resisting. That's embodiment. If you're impatient, put yourself in situations that will force you to be patient because you have no choice. So you have to do the thing that's uncomfortable. I invite all self-aware Barbies to start with the Basic Babe bundle first, because the inner work is in there. The journaling stuff, the embodiment work is in there. Then move on to the, I have a, if you go to my website, theuniverseguru.com, and then you click on courses by levels, it lays it out. And what I'm doing actually next week is I'm adding a module to the Self-Aware Barbie Activated program. That program is a 12-month guided program on how to automate every area of your life, like your finances and your home stuff and your relationships and everything, so you can live like a queen. So you can actually move on to $1 Million Babe. Because the Self-Aware Barbie is addicted to making things complicated, I'm actually adding a new module that's just going to be something that's going to be more of a subconscious that you can keep hearing over and over again. And it's going to have high vibration words in there. Like, it gets to be easy. I get to have fun. I get to delegate. I get to ask for help. I get to be the queen of my life, things like that. And that's being added next week, because I feel like that's something that you need to even be able to motivate yourself to automate and not overcomplicate it. The Self-Aware Barbie she has a PhD in overcomplicating everything. Thank you, Maggie. She said, love Mina's programs. Thanks, babe. My goal, asking for help, talking to my mom, letting her be there for me, letting the world support you, letting people support you, letting the universe support you, letting your husband support you, letting your kids support you, letting you support you. Ask for support. For the Self-Aware Barbie, like the whole ego thing of like, no, I have to suffer through this. You have to be able to put that to rest. Do the hardest thing. Yes, Jenny. Because for the Self-Aware Barbie, that she's not going to want to do anything that will make her life easy. So that's often the hardest thing. Okay. Mina, what do you do if you do not have support? You have support, you don't know how to, you're not noticing it. It's not in your field. So what you do is you put your hand on your heart. The surrender prayer is in the Self-Aware Barbie bundle. I'm sorry, it's in the Basic Babe bundle. And you say, dear God, I surrender to you and I ask for support. Please show me support. Please bring it to me. I'm willing to accept support now. And then you'll see it was there all along. You weren't noticing it. Okay. Brenda said, thank you, Mina. This week, every day, I will do something uncomfortable. Yes. Yes. If you are a Self-Aware Barbie, you're going to have to do the things that feel uncomfortable, but you notice that those are the things that will heal you. Those are the things that are generally things that feel good, but you're not used to doing things that feel good. You are used to doing things that feel like peasant consciousness. So you need to start activating that queen consciousness. Say, what would a queen do? What would a $1 Million Babe do? Would she DIY? Would she suffer? Or would she have fun and pleasure and enjoy and delegate and hand over and release and surrender? Miss Morgan said, Mina, I'm addicted to looking for jobs and I know God wants me to be an entrepreneur. I just noticed that last year. Oh my goodness. Maybe God's telling you need to join my CEO Boss Queen program. We're starting in March. When you join now, there's going to be things that are assigned for you, digital stuff, but the live sessions will start in March, and that's the energy work around being a spiritual entrepreneur. And it gets to be easy, and it gets to be fun, and you get to be aligned, and you get to have money coming in from all sources, all divine sources. I do not put any restrictions on God. I don't say, God, I want money, but my job only pays that much. Do I really think that God is that limited? That God can only give me money through a job? Like, that's ridiculous. I think very highly of God, right? I think very highly of source energy. I think God is infinite, can give me anything I want, can give me from any source. God has given me money and pleasure and love from sources that I didn't even know existed, because my brain, my human brain, can't even wrap my mind around it. But I know I can align myself and say, God, throw money at me from wherever you want, and love and pleasure and bliss. So I only, just kind of mentioning, I have limited spots for the CEO Boss Queen. This is my spiritual mentoring program. And I only do this once a year. And I always take a very small, limited group of women. So if this is calling out to you and you have been doing my work for a while, check it out. I just threw it in the chat. Star said, cannot believe how amazing you are. You're like the big sister I never had. Oh my goodness, I love that. Thank you. Yes, very true. Money can come to us from anywhere. Yes, money is just the energy of appreciation. It's the energy of security. It's the energy of pleasure. So when you know how to animate pleasure, it's going to come to you from everywhere. It's going to come to you from everywhere. I'm learning to let go of limiting beliefs. Yes, yes. Oh my God, you're hitting the nail on the head. Yes. I'm choosing in 2021 by what I want my future to look like. Yes, MD, I love the post that Shira made about this. That's it. It's like you need to be able to look into the future and then reverse engineer. Problem is, most of you guys, and I did this too, are looking at the past, and then it's like you're trying to recreate that or what? Like, damn the past, right? If you're stuck on the past, go see a therapist, become emotionally current, come back to me, and let's do the work. The therapist will get you to the race. A life coach will make you finish first, make you win, be successful, get the thing, enjoy the thing, have fun with it. I'm using this as a metaphor. It's not really a race, but the point is that you need to know what your crystalline clarity is around your life. Like, what do you want to do? What do you even want to do? Are you just spinning your wheels, like someone said, like a hamster, and like you're just like in survival and you're just trying to be tiger in the moment? Or are you trying to create a beautiful life experience? So I always say this, and I say this in a lot of my programs, and I will repeat it again. The man, the provider, the husband isn't the ultimate goal. The money isn't the ultimate goal. The degree isn't the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is for you to have happiness and peace. Am I correct or no? But some of you guys get so stuck in the man, and then, he has to do this, and he has to give me this, and the money, and the man, and the money. And then you're miserable even when it shows up, because that was never the ultimate goal. So I say to God, my ultimate goal is always to have bliss, peace, happiness, orgasms, money, success, all that stuff, because I think that all of that will lead to my happiness and success. So if I just want peace and happiness, then I'm saying, dear God, bring it in any way possible. I'm not going to limit you. I'm not going to limit creation energy. If you think a man is going to be a great channel for amplifying pleasure and peace in my life, bring him on. If you feel that more money and being a multimillionaire is going to bring more security and peace and liberation in my life, bring it on. If you think me being a spiritual teacher and a spiritual mentor and a life coach is going to bring more peace and happiness in my life, bring it on. But none of those things are the ultimate goal. None of those things are the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is my peace and happiness. So I'm saying to God, bring it on any way you want. I'm willing to do my part. Like, use me as your channel. Use me as your hands and feet and eyes and boots on the ground. I'm willing to do my part. But the ultimate goal is not to get stuck on the thing. The ultimate goal is my happiness and my peace. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So if the guy shows up and he's not acting right and I'm not feeling peace, bye, because he wasn't the ultimate goal. My peace and happiness is the ultimate goal. Okay. Let's see. Tino said, Mina, you have reminded me to surrender, and that already at the core level has stopped me from searching for suffering. Love you. Yes. This is divine work. Yes. Yes. Because why suffer in God's kingdom? It makes no freaking sense. It makes no sense. We are the architects of our life. Yes. I love the word architect. Yes. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. This message has me in tears. I love you for this. Thanks so much. Yes, I love tears because tears are resistance leaving the body. Yes, yes. Now you're an open channel and all you have to say is, God, bring it on. My ultimate goal is peace and happiness for me. Bring on the things that will deliver that. If it's a man, bring him on. If it's money, bring it on. If it's this and that, bring it on. If it's all of the above, I will take two. Please bring it on. That should be a song. The money, the man. Maybe you guys need to turn it into a song for me. Yes. Mina, is the CEO Boss Babe program appropriate for those of us who are already married and the providers and to providers and who already achieve considerable wealth? I'm looking to take it to the next level. It's appropriate for anyone whose heart is tingling with excitement, with wanting to create something and birth something. That's the requirement. The other requirement is you need to be willing to do the alignment work. This is more of an alignment program, like you getting in the energy of wealth and in God's service and becoming a teacher of God. That's the alignment. It's like, I'm here to do this work and I'm here to be aligned to it. Then it's for you. You guys are hilarious. Body mindset. Hi, Mina. Do you feel like you are continuously in your $1 million babe? So where I am now, mind body, that's a really good question because you can be in between two consciousness levels. I'm toggling between $1 million babe and high end divinity most of the time. I would say probably more in the high end divinity at this time because I have surrendered myself to God and said, make me a divine channel, use me, like put me to good use. Like you've given me so many blessings, like use me. Where do you want me? The $1 million babe is always there though. Let me give you an example. The other day, 2 days ago, it was about 8 p.m. and I was just sitting, relaxing, like looking outside into my garden and plants, just sitting on the couch. And this thought popped up of me being in Europe. And I'm like, oh, yes, it's going to feel so divine, so good to be in Europe. I want to go to Europe. It's going to be so fun. This is also divine. I'm loving it. And it would also be nice to be in Europe. This was, let me even tell you, Saturday at 8 p.m. Okay. Sunday at about 10 a.m., 11 a.m., something like that. Irfan comes down and I'm sitting in the living room, same space I was sitting the night before. And he goes, babe, my cousin just called. They have her, she's already engaged and I knew that. He says her name. He says she just called and they've come up with the wedding plan. We're all going to Spain next year for her wedding. And he's like, since we're going to Spain, let's just go to France. Let's just do this and this and this. This was not even 24 hours later. So the $1 million babe in me is always active. The $1 million babe, it's like I'm so aligned at that point. I do my work every single day. And so when I think of something, when I say it, it's there. It shows up. It's just like it happens. Like it's done. So that's the $1 million babe. I don't have to work hard for it. Before, when I was like more in my self-aware Barbie, I would mess things up and then go have to pray and meditate and journal to fix it. Now I'm doing that every single day. So there's like no, what's the word? Instead of doing it afterwards, can someone say this better for me? I have a tickle in my throat. Instead of doing the work afterwards, I'm doing it beforehand all the time, every day. Thank you for the super chat. Wardell said, you take me to church every live stream. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you. That means the world to me. Proactively. Barbara, thank you. So instead of doing it, what's the other word? Yeah, it's like preventive, proactively. Like that's like my spirituality, so another way of saying it, God's my main thing. Like I'm gonna wake up and think of God. I'm gonna think of God before I sleep and everywhere in between. So because I'm highly aligned with God all the time, and I know some people get triggered when I use the word God, but at the end of the day, look, I am who I am. And I believe in God and angels and universe and higher self, and like I'm not going to water down my message. So I know some people get triggered by this. I get your messages, but that's just who I am. So to me, like my entire life is God. Like it's centered in God. I'm in God, God's in me, and that's my message. So I'm not going to water that down. And so when I'm constantly surrendering to God and asking for support and saying, God, I'm handing myself over as a clear channel, please put me to good use. God's not going to send me out there to do the divine work empty-handed. God's not going to send me out there without supplies, without money, without support. And so like when I ask for some things and I say, God, if this is in the highest good of all beings, if this is what you desire for me, wouldn't this be fun? God says, here you go, right? Like I'm not gonna come. Does that make sense? Like I'm supported. I'm asking for support. My free will is there. I'm constantly asking for it. Like I'm not gonna be sent down, boots on the ground or high heels, red bottoms on the ground, like empty-handed, right? If I say, God, I'm a clear channel for your work, and I would like to, have more influence and help more people. And wouldn't it be fun if I did it in red bottoms? God's not going to be like, well, now you're asking for too much, bitch. Like you can't have the red bottoms, right? Like I'm going to get whatever I want as long as I'm aligned to it. Does that make sense? Okay, does that make sense? I love God. 2 thumbs up. Retroactively love that. God is the universe. It's all the same. It's all the same. Yes. How can I ask God for whatever I want? Ask God, I'm giving you free will to bring me my provider. If that's in the highest good of all beings, please give it to me. Show me what I need to do. I'm willing to do my part. Right? Does that make sense? Like I'm going to ask, like I have 3 kids. My kids, when they want something, especially take Alina to the store and girl, you will learn. She will be like, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Daddy, give me this. Mommy, give me this. She doesn't second guess her pleasures and her desires. She just asks, right? Well, we're her parents right now on the world and on the plane. So she asks us, well, here's the thing. God is my mother and father. So I'm going to ask my father and my mother. Like, who else am I supposed to ask? Who else am I supposed to ask? I'm a child of God. God, give me money. Give me this. Give me that. I want a Chanel bag. And wouldn't it be nice if I was doing this intensive a few years ago and 3 women were going to fly in and come to my house. And I was like, well, wouldn't it be nice if I got to drive them to lunch in a red sexy Lexus. And then I got my red sexy Lexus because God's like, here you go. Think of who your mother and father are. Not your human, but the infinite source. Are they really that limited that you can't ask for a provider and a house and God forbid money? Like, does that even make sense to you? Like, who are you? Who is your mother and father? Like you are literally sitting on a damn rock right now in the middle of the cosmos. You think this infinite source and this infinite power can't bring a damn man to you or your house or the red bottoms or the Chanel bag? Like it doesn't make sense. Think logically, it doesn't make sense. So do the inner work so you can release the damn blocks. 444, that means angels are protecting you and supporting you. We had 444 for a second there, people watching this. Angels are always protecting you, guiding you, supporting you. You have to ask. Nothing in the galaxy, nothing in the cosmos, nothing in the infinite will ever break your free will. You have to ask. And you have to remove those blocks. You have to remove those blocks. I'm getting goosebumps. I call God my very own super parent. Yes, we are all divine creations. We are all children of God. We forget and we like to do it the hard way, but we don't have to. That's why I have these, well, Alina made these for me, but I'm like, that must have been a divine manifestation. She has these friendship bracelets and things she's always making. And she made me a bracelet and says angels, universe, God. And all three of them have God because she knows her mother. She knows that her mother will not do freaking anything without asking support. Why not? I tell her, I'm like, you go to daddy for every little thing you want. I'm going to my father. I'm going to my mother. Who else would I go to? Human beings? If God wants a human being to do something for me, God will use them as a channel. I don't have to use any human being. I don't have to beg anyone. I just have to talk to my father. I'm a spoiled daughter of the infinite source. So Linda, I'm a life coach. I offer inner work programs on my website, theuniverseguru.com. I also offer coaching packages. You can email my team. All of those are linked below. Remove the blocks, do the inner work. There's 1,000 ways to do inner work. I have done lots of inner work myself and helped thousands of students at this point and hundreds of clients. And I have a process that I take people through. It's not the only process on the planet, but it's my process, the one that I do. So you can find that. Let me see. Mina, what are some ways you can let go of guilt and shame in the divine and feminine way? Thank you. Jessica, I'm sure there's other ways. This is so weird because I was saying a little prayer yesterday and this became crystal clear to me last night, that how I got rid of shame and guilt. And then you asked this question, but of course not everything in my life works out that way. I was doing a little prayer meditation type thing last night. And what came up for me is that the minute I stopped judging other people in the world, my shame and guilt went away. And I was like, that's so interesting. And I asked in my journal, I said, God, are you saying that all of my guilt and shame was coming from me judging other people? So that's so interesting that you would ask this. So that's what came up for me. That all my shame and guilt went away when I stopped judging other people and I offered everyone forgiveness. I forgave my molesters. I forgave the people that raped me. I forgave the people that hurt me. I forgave my ex-husband. I forgave everyone because there's actually no one to blame. There's actually no one to blame because all of it is just a divine spiritual experience and assignments and spiritual detours. And now because of those experiences, I'm on the right path. I found God through all of the stuff that happened to me. I am the daughter of the infinite Father. Yes, Father and Mother. I believe that everything has masculine and feminine energy, and so does God. God has masculine energy, and God has feminine energy, and every aspect of creation and energy has both. Taking notes. This is powerful. Yes, I'm so happy. Oh, I have to go. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It's Alina's lunchtime, so I've got to run. Check out, if you're new to my work, start with the High Vibration Worthy Woman Ascension program, which is part of the Basic Babe bundle. It's linked in the description box. If you want to join more of my advanced programs, I'm currently enrolling for Call in Your Masculine Provider for Divine Union, and CEO Boss Queen has a very limited number of spots. That's my spiritual business mentorship program. I only run that once a year. You need to be willing to do the spiritual work in alignment. It's amazing. It's a lot of energy work, a lot of alignment work. It's next level stuff. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.